Dr. Patra, you just heard from a very outspoken judge at the former Supreme Court of India. He's calling this a police interest litigation, saying that, the judges are being asked to do the job of the police force. He also says that this violates the first rule of mediation, which is that the mediation can only happen if the mediators are acceptable to all parties and appointed in consultation with them. He also says that this violates the first rule of justice, that justice should not just be done, but to be seen to be done. How do you react to what you just heard from Dr. Gupta? Welcome, Sambit.
See, Rahul, my first reaction is, just as a citizen of this country, not as the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, that we as citizens of this country have to have faith on certain constitutional institutions of this country. If our faith in the constitutional institutions of the country, like the Parliament, like the Supreme Court of the country, like the Election Commission of this country, in fact is not reposed, is degraded, is denigrated, then I would not fall short to say that democracy, it will be a perilous thing for democracy. It will be peril for democracy, it will be havoc for democracy. And astonishingly, gradually, that's what is happening. I mean, look, we have two former judges. We had Mr. Karju reacting differently, we have Justice Deepak reacting differently, and we have three judges in the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice of India, who have already given out a verdict yesterday, and we are discussing about the verdict, whether the verdict stands or not. Just imagine. Today we are discussing a verdict which is sacrosanct because it comes from the highest court of the country, number one. Number two, the most important contention in this judgment, which has been into discussion as per the opposition, is the appointment of 4 people into the committee who probably have given their public view before their appointment in favor of what the government's act or law was. Now let me over here come and speak about some of them. Ashok Gulati. Ashok Gulati, as an expert, was appointed by the UPA in the year 2011 as the chairman of Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, CACP. It was Dr. Manmohan Singh who appointed him because he was a domain expert. Then we had Dr. Pramod Kumar PK Joshi. Pramod Kumar Joshi. He was appointed as the director of the National Centre for Agriculture, Economic and Policy Research in Delhi by again Dr. Manmohan Singh, UPA regime. Similarly, Bhupendra Singh Maan and Anil Gawat, both of them are in fact real-time farmers. They head farmer organizations. So if we judge their credentials by what they have written in newspapers, and we do not in fact go into the merit of the case, remember, we also as citizens of India can judge the credibility of the so-called 4 farmer leaders, be it VM Singh, be it Yogendra Yadav ji, be it Mr. Tiket, who have also contested from tickets of other political parties.
I hear what you're saying, Dr. Patra, and no one is questioning their credentials or their stature or their understanding of agriculture. The question is, they've taken public positions in favor of your government. Now you're trying to resolve a dispute between yourself and the likes of VM Singh. You're saying we don't agree. Now, to find a resolution, should you not have in that committee people who agree, disagree, get them to talk and then come to a minimum common agreement? That is the way a resolution can happen. If you get 4 people who agree with the laws, how do you then accommodate those who disagree with what you're trying to do?
Let me answer this. See, we have all gone through the judgment of the Supreme Court yesterday. What does it pronounce? It pronounced that as far as this committee of 4 is concerned, they would be delivering after meeting all the farmer organizations across this country on the material facts, on the merit of the issue, not on the bias of their own sense, on the material of the facts, and they would be helping the Supreme Court, almost as if they were the amicus curiae, to help the Supreme Court to reach a conclusion. So the ultimate decision would be taken by the judges of the Supreme Court, not by these 4 people in the committee, and these 4 people have to be objective, and they have no room to be subjective over here. Just as the Supreme Court judges also belong to different religion, but when they wear their robes and they sit on the high desk of Supreme Court, they have to shun the bias for whichever religion they may belong to, and they have to behave as the Supreme Court judge. Similarly, these 4, I would say, extremely credible, knowledgeable agriculturists would behave in a similar manner.